Alright, in this video I want to give you a description of what it's an exercise we call neutral brace breathe. But essentially it's an exercise we use to help teach intra-abdominal stability. So it's a breathing drill that I want to make sure we start to fill up the entire canister. What I mean by canister is diaphragm to pelvic floor, filling that up with air and creating a nice, good, stable base. So we have stability for our our extremity joints to express performance. So our shoulders, our hips, if we don't have a good stable base from the center, we're not going to be able to express athletic performance using our extremities, our arms, our leg. We're going to decrease power. Plus our joints are just not in a very good position to stay strong and healthy. So one of the most basic foundational exercises that I see, especially when people start to work with breathing, is they don't necessarily get the idea or concept of intra-abdominal stability, so I want to dive a little bit into that. So I'm going to have Whitney lay on her back, and hopefully the camera can kind of give you a good view of this. I'm going to kind of show what's going on with as I look at her rib cage. So there's a little bit of an assessment I'm looking at to look at position. So one, she just kind of got wicked arched position. You'll have some people that are here, their heads tilted back. We need to first get their spine aligned properly. Whitney is on the hypermobile side, so she's going to be able to get in this position fine and dandy. So I don't need to elevate her head up because her chin's tilted back. I can get her in a good neutral spine position from here. Now I just want to look at the midsection. So I'm going to kind of look, are the ribs, the bottom ribs here, are they elevated and protruding and creating, don't go up into such an arch, good. So a lot of the times they're just going to relax. You're going to see these ribs kind of sitting up and out without them, doing anything. So at that point, you'll notice kind of a hollowed out midsection. There's really no stability coming from here. So the shoulders, the hips, they have no stability, no foundation, no base to perform off of. So what I want to do is teach an exercise, what we call neutral brace breathe. So as we're teaching diaphragmatic breathing, teaching how to get air into the belly, we'll start with belly breathing. So I'm going to have you just take a breath of air in through the nose, and then a good exhale. So I'll typically cue like a nice hard exhale, pursing the lips almost like you're blowing up a balloon. And then you're going to take a good inhale and a good exhale. So as I start to teach neutral brace breathe, I'm going to look at the midsection, and I'm going to look as they inhale or exhale, does it become super hollowed out? Or do they stay kind of looking like a pillar? Or I also sometimes use the cue of get fat, get wide, because I want that air to go into your obliques. I want that air to go in your low back. I want that air to fill up this entire canister. So I do use belly breathing. That's just to start to teach, making sure the diaphragm kicks on, making sure the air gets in down here. But as soon as we start to use the proper muscles, I definitely want to make sure I start to teach clients to get air into the sides. So right oblique, left oblique, I want to make sure they can get air into the back. And then as they exhale, I want to make sure this doesn't just all hollow out. You see the ribs sticking up, there's no rib cage movement, and this is just hollowed out, nothing in there. So what I want to do is I will inhale. I'll teach them to brace a little bit, almost like they're planking. And I want to kind of just push in here to make sure that the core is staying strong. So as I start to teach neutral brace breathe, I'll kind of teach almost like 3 levels. So if you have what I call level 1 for me, as I'm teaching or talking to a client, that's where I can just push my fingers in. If you just completely relax. So now she learned how to like shut it off. I can dig my fingers in real deep. There's really no like come back or spring back as I'm pushing through here. No stability's going on. Now she's gonna brace so hard like she's doing a plank. Now there's no, like, I can't hardly push down. So before I could almost dig my fingers into her spine. Now as I teach her to brace, now I can't have any flex or any give, so she's giving me too much. So I like that kind of happy zone right in the middle, to where now she'll give me that good 360-degree breath into the belly, back, and sides, getting 360 degrees, exhaling, and as you exhale, you see this good pillar stay strong right through here, rib cage to pelvis, and it's kind of in that middle zone. I kind of like to say it's like a sponge, so I can kind of push my fingers in. It's not bracing like a plank, but there's still stability, there's still something to help give us a good foundation to perform off of. So if you're working breathing, make sure, one, you're getting not just belly breathing, you're starting to fill up the entire canister. And then the next thing is, as they exhale, make sure they're able to stay in that good neutral position with a neutral brace breathe. If you're not trying this exercise and you're missing this component, a lot of the other stuff isn't going to stick very well. So that's our neutral brace breathe. Give it a shot.